Star Wars. Okay, so essentially you had a 5th grade staying over at your buddy's place, cousin's place.
It was high school all over again.
High school all over again.
It was a sleepover, pizza, and we just stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning playing video games.
It's pretty great.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all. At Backside Attack.
At Big Sabe.
Hey, 2023.
23.
Well, again, redo.
Because
for whatever reason, our last episodes were thumbs down fart sound for the old YouTube.
That is true.
They're like, we're not too keen on you guys posting your happiness. And like nothing controversial. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why I did that. I didn't know what the reason
I still don't
was.
know why that. Yeah, that's when you explained it to me. I'm like, what did we say that was just so off-putting?
There was nothing there. I don't even know if it was like a content, because there's no content advisory. It's just like it just wouldn't load. When it's 95%, it stopped, and then I changed the videos up a little bit again, and then went to 95% processing and stopped. And then the one that actually made it was taken down. So I had like no explanation. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. So if anybody does know why that happens, I would love some input, because that's the first for us with like 0 viewers.
That's weird.
Yeah, because nobody's watching us. They're listening.
Yeah, but yeah, that is very strange. I don't know why that happened.
It is what it is. So we're doing a redo video for all of the stuff we talked about last time, and you're gonna Fonzie up, pop the collar.
Yeah,
pop the collar and get yourself ready
Stay
to
warm,
go.
yeah.
Stay warm because the volcano is cold this week.
Yeah, it's just. But yeah, Alberta got spared. Our weather is going to be nice, so
yeah. Well, it looks like we're gonna have a good winter. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess so. Right? We're really
better winter
in the first month of winter.
Yeah, like we're what is it? Thursday and Friday will be above 0.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. I'll take that all day.
I'll take it all day long.
Yeah.
Throw a little bit of salt on the little sidewalk there.
Yeah, your sidewalk needs a little bit of work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
mine does too. Yeah.
I mean, the problem is it's painted and it's far too clean. So once that rain and the sleet kind of hit it, it just froze over. Mm-hmm. So now I've got a nice little thin sheen layer of skating rink out there.
Yeah, there's actually I was thinking about this on the way here. Is that just to get you right into it? What was Lisa Marie Presley most known for?
Marrying Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, when you say that.
Okay, I'll say this. What else was she known for?
Well, she's Elvis's daughter.
Besides the people she was associated with, what else did she do?
Did Lisa Marie do?
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. She had one song that I remembered when I heard it.
Okay.
I'd kind of forgotten that she released like a fairly moderate hit.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it was in the early 2000s. They played it on one of the shows when it was on, but I didn't... Okay, honestly, I didn't take the time to go back and look at it or listen to it. But when I heard it when they were playing it, I'm like, I remember that. I remember that being on the radio for some time. But if you tell me what was she most known for, the first thing I think of, even before her father was the most famous like singer, arguably the king of rock and roll of all time, was like, yeah, all right, she married Michael Jackson. That's what I remember first. And then I remember she's also Elvis's kid.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
How about you? Was there a recall that you had of something that you remembered?
No, I was just struggling if I could think of anything. And I was like, even on the way here, I'm like, what the fuck did she know? Was she known for? Besides those things.
Claim to fame.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I mean, I would say also she was fairly like uncontroversial outside of like the drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Like she was pretty uncontroversial. Yeah, she had her issues, but like, she was also like connected to two of the most famous musicians of all time.
Yeah.
So you'd think somebody like that might have some ups and downs. But for the most part, like she like never ran over anybody in a car. She didn't do a line of coke, get in her car and ram through another car, killing like a mother.
Yeah, I wonder if her mom kept her in line. What if her mom kept her in line?
Maybe. I mean, they seem to be fairly, I guess, they were always connected to each other in a positive way in the media anyway. You never heard about them having like a blowout or drugs.
I would rather, like, to honor her legacy, I'd rather, like, watch Naked Gun than to listen to any of her songs.
Was she the Naked Gun?
No, her mom was, though.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Priscilla was Naked Gun.
Yeah.
So you're gonna honor the mother?
Yeah.
I'm gonna honor the mother.
I'll sidestep it. Yeah.
In the face of your demise, your passing, I'll sidestep all the stuff that you may have been a part of. And
I'll watch one of your mom's movies.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll take it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the... I guess that was one of the things we talked about last time. The episode that is no more. The episode no more. Deaths, celebrity deaths. Like 2023 or 22 was full of
just wild deaths.
Like 50 plus celebrity deaths.
Yeah, I won't break my phone out this time. But like,
you could. Yeah. I mean, we're there. Might as well. But it was like from Bob Saget and Louis Anderson. And
we lost a lot of good comedians.
Gilbert
Gottfried. We lost a lot of them. So
all of good ones.
Yeah. I can't hear the laughter anymore.
Laughter. The year the laughter died.
Yeah.
That's I was thinking about that actually. Like, speaking of the year that the whatever died, I kind of feel like in 2022, it was the year that I think I realized we see too much as like a society, as consumers, like consumers of media or content. Like we see too much. Like if you think about like way back in the day, you had, I guess, say Buster Keaton, right? Mm-hmm. Buster Keaton was doing wild, crazy stunt stuff.
Yeah.
But that was all like movies and planned, and nobody had seen that before, and stunts were getting wilder and crazier and whatever, and that was kind of contained to Hollywood, just to cinema in general. Mm-hmm. And then as I guess cameras got more accessible to the general public, America's Funniest Videos, like your next real like wild step in what we see as a consumer.
Yeah, like so whatever America's Funniest Home Videos was,
right,
that became like anyone could do that and get it out into the ether.
Anybody. Yeah. And now we're like, after that was maybe the Faces of Death, which otherwise like, I think was maybe fake for the most part. Like it always seemed to be kind of like a little bit too, like everything was caught too well on camera. You never really saw the ending of stuff. Excuse me. But I think that was like, I think everybody knows now that was mostly fake, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't real. But then like with the internet now and phones and cameras and stuff, I was just on Reddit yesterday. I saw a cop shoot a guy 8 times. 8 or 10 times. And the guy is alive, full of bullet holes, and like slowly walking towards death, falls down and dies. I'm like, that's it. This is bonkers, man. We see way too much as a consumer of media now.
Yeah, and I think it's like you can get caught in overload.
Right.
And and I think it's just too it's like you can get sucked in easily, and you just believe everything you see, which is like, which I think is just,
well, that's awful.
Which is like the reason why society is the place it's in right now.
It's crumbling.
Yeah,
it's slowly falling apart.
Yeah, like there's a
the sensitivity.
Yeah, I think it's because there's just too much. There is a lot out there, mm-hmm. and people are either just like they're not taking advantage of it in the way they should.
Right.
They're rather. I think they're exploiting it rather than using it to its full advantage.
In a good way. They're using it in the most negative light.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like I kind of always joke, like there was my one little, like my little bit, I guess, for lack of a better term, about how if you took your phone and you went to 1986 and showed your like 8-year-old, 9-year-old self a cell phone, like a smartphone, mm-hmm. it'd blow his mind. He'd be like, "This is amazing. So what do you do with it? You change the world. You must be changing the world." And you're like, "Well, mostly." Like I send photos and stuff to my friends mm-hmm. of like dumb stuff that I see other friends post. Like, well, I mean that's cool on the side, but what else do you do with it? Are you making movies? It's like, well, people do try to make things, and then everybody just kind of shits on it. Like everybody else just kind of like craps all over any kind of creativity, and usually more often than not, one party will really like it, the other party will really hate it, and then they'll get into a war online on this thing called Twitter where people just go and complain all day long.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably look at you like, well, that's kind of sad. Like, what else can you do anything good with it? Like, what can it do? It's like, well, they're neat. They're made of like an unbreakable glass. Apparently, that breaks all the time. They're waterproof because people keep dropping them in the toilet or they jerk off in the shower. It's like this is all the stuff that our technology does that we use it for. That's just sad. Like if you have to explain what you actually do with your smartphone.
Yeah.
To your like 10-year-old self.
Yeah, I think your 10-year-old self would be like, well, why don't you just use it? If you can do all that, why don't you use it for all that?
Yeah, why don't you use it for the good stuff it can do instead of being a loser and using it to bitch and moan on things that don't matter.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you don't have those features on your phone, then the phone is deemed useless, which will not sell.
That's it too,
yeah.
Right?
And
let's just like forget about the fact that it's a waterproof phone or it's got great like a structurally like integral integrity. Let's just say it's not just a cool piece of shit in your pocket, right?
Okay.
But let's just say the software and the ability of the phone. But we don't even use that.
No, we don't.
Like, forget about how great they're built, the build quality. Mm-hmm. We just don't even use them for anything positive at all.
No, it's like, there's I don't really like the ability of your phone is to like if you are a creative person, whether it's video or audio, you can there's so many applications you can use it for. Mm-hmm. So you spend all that money on it, you might as well just take advantage of it. And so most people are just not doing that or using it to create things that are just harmful. But that's the world we live in.
That's the world. Those are the people who populate the world.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, Soderbergh made like 2 movies now on an iPhone, and instead of like if he hadn't told anybody he did it, they'd watch it like a Soderbergh movie. Yeah, and be just completely enthralled by his storytelling, right? But instead, because they're known to be having been shot, I think like an iPhone 11 and an iPhone 12, whatever they were, or even I think they were even before that. They might have been 10s. Puts an anamorphic lens on it, makes this great, like 2 pretty great movies. But instead of watching 2 really good movies, people just shit on the fact that it's on an iPhone.
Yeah. What you could do is you could celebrate the fact that this was shot so well and it was just shot on a phone.
On a thing you have in your pocket.
Yeah. Like I remember I was watching the Grand Tour, and they were watching this thing called Drive Tribe. It's all about like it's a car thing where like people can come on there, and it's like if you're a car fanatic, you can just like
an enthusiast.
You can film stuff. And James May says you want to be an automotive journalist. All you need is this. That's all you need.
A Google Pixel?
No, you just need a phone. He goes, you can write on it. You can take, you can
Notes.
Write everything on your computer, and you could use this, take pictures of it, shoot videos of it, upload it. He goes, that's all you need to do. Get started from there. So that's just one example, and I think that people are just not using it for all its intents and purposes that was built for.
They want the biggest and the best one. They want the greatest version of that thing. Yeah. That they use exactly how they used the same thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like the actual usage hasn't changed since like the 3G.
No, if I looked at when I got the first iPhone, the 3G, and I look, if I fast forward and see what the new S23 Ultra is going to do, I'm like, I can't wait to take advantage of all that.
Yeah, but I mean, granted, like I kind of feel we are in the minority because we are nerds. We're kind of techie with all the stuff that we do.
I think it's just that's true. I would say, I just wish people would it's meant for like creating all these things. So instead of like going on social media and like posting all these stupid things on Instagram, and actually, Instagram people post really good things. Like they can, like, you know, if it's family stuff and stuff like that, picture your kids, you want to. But for people who are just like just doing like stupid videos of TikTok and stuff like that.
A dance
or something like that, just trying to be famous instead of trying to get a job. Get out of here.
Get out of here, man. I can't believe how I was watching one stream of videos today because a friend sent me one thing. And if you go in there, like the reels, you can just start like looking at the reel they showed you and flip through and see the next one, the next one. And a reel that popped up was just a guy handing his girlfriend a piece of paper. And the account looked like is fairly new, like 24, maybe like 30 posts. Because that's like what I do now. I go see how many posts they have and how many followers they have to see how long it took them to get to where they are now. Yeah. It was like 2 million followers, 40 posts of a dude just walking up to his girlfriend, and it's his point of view, and handing her a paper of 2 things that he wants from her. And like one is do the laundry, the other one's like get a blowjob. Like this is it. Like this is. And you're super famous because obviously you're probably a troll because you're on the POV end. Yeah. Your girlfriend is really hot if she's your girlfriend at all. But like that's all you've got to do. And you're going to get super popular and become an influencer and maybe get some advertisers. Yeah. Meanwhile, you create real solid content. Well, okay, there's one rare exception. I've seen those kids from Africa who remake the movie scenes. They've done like the Matrix. They've just done Black Adam. I was watching speaking of Adam, the Adam Project, and there's just a bunch of little kids from Africa, and they look like they started with iPhones. Now they've got low end gear from a few years back, maybe like it was gifted, whatever it was, but they're making high quality content for a bunch of 15-year-olds, like 10 to 15-year-olds in the middle of Africa. It's beautiful stuff. Like that's what you should be following, and that's what you should be praising. Yeah, like that's the kind of content you should be lifting up. Yeah, and also and
if you're going to make that kind of stuff, I think that's the stuff that gets more like either respect or gets more following. I think so. Right. Like I think those are the people you want to those are the kind of people like the people you're going to attract are I think there are more I guess they're more decent people, I should say, rather than the people who are just like trying to like make money just by acting stupid in Starbucks or something like that.
Right. They're more well-rounded. Yeah. Like if you want to see real garbage, you go to that or the Reddit group, I Am the Main Character. You'll see some real pieces of shit. It's like I am the main character. r/whatever. Right? And it's just like you said, it's people who are standing in front of in a traffic circle, blocking traffic and just dancing, like barely wearing any clothes. Yeah. And some dude is filming them and everybody's mad. Everybody's pissed off. But she don't give a shit. She's the main character.
She's the main character.
She's the main character in this car. Or in this scene. Yeah. It's the Family Guy. Going off the cliff. And Peter's like, Meg, relax. There's 4 out of 5 main characters in this car. We're not going to die.
We're not going to die.
We're going to be all right.
Actually, one thing I was going to bring up is I was reading this article about... this is completely off topic, but like...
There are no topics.
There's... I was like, I was just doing some reading on population collapse, and
this is gonna be cheery.
Yeah, so I guess China has peaked its population. So
I believe it was 150 million people.
Well, it's 1 point something. 1 point. I can't remember I can't remember what the billion number was.
No, the loss in population. In the last like 3 or 4 months, something like 150 million.
Yeah.
People.
So what happened is that they've apex now. They are going to start dropping, and because they've implemented the one-child policy for the past like I don't know like 15, 20 years, maybe.
It's quite some time.
Yeah. So they're trying to encourage more people to have more kids, but due to the economy and COVID lockdowns, the economy shutting down, the recession that's probably coming. They're saying that they would like to, but they can't afford bigger houses. Right. They can't afford these children. So the Chinese government is saying no. They're trying to like say, you have to have more kids. We're like, well, we can't afford it. So economy is not great. Right. You guys are doing nothing to help us. So they're saying in the next year or so, India will overtake China as the most populous country in the world.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Because China also has a major like aging population.
Oh yeah,
like massive aging population.
Yeah, and those people are gonna flatline.
They're gonna flatline.
Yeah,
and they just like what people don't know about China is their healthcare. Their healthcare might be like above average, but their state of health for their aging population is below average.
Oh yeah, it's
like obesity, diabetes, smoking,
pitiful,
drinking.
Yeah.
It's really bad in China.
Oh yeah, because like because a lot of companies that were in like North America. A lot of people made a lot of money bringing those franchises over. Like KFC is huge in China, huge.
Fried chicken in general.
Fried chicken in general.
Like KFC is massive.
Yeah, but my cousin was in Hong Kong and she said, yeah, people are like eating that stuff. They're just chewing on the bones to like clean their teeth, basically.
Right.
They love that shit there, and it's the unhealthiest diet. Everyone smokes there. Smoking is actually like considered like you have to do it almost.
Well, it's weird because there are things in China that are status symbols.
Yeah.
If you can afford cigarettes and you're fat. Well, obviously that you're rich.
Yeah.
I mean, there are weird things they look at over there that they think, well, this person's wealthy. It's like if you're light-skinned, you're obese, and you smoke, well, you can afford things that we can't afford. Shelter, food, and cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's awful. Like, I think like type 2 diabetes, like type 1 isn't so much an issue, but I'm pretty sure it's China. Well, you should research this yourself too. But type 2 diabetes is on the rise, like in the last 10, 15 years. Just because this idea of these people who just didn't take care of themselves and poorly educated their children and how to take care of themselves, who poorly educated their grandchildren, and now you're hitting, like you said, that apex of like just terrible health in people. Yeah,
and so we're gonna see, and I think it was, I guess everyone was worried about like climate due to like human activity. So the natural thing to say after that is that there's too many people on Earth.
Right.
And so we have an overpopulation problem. No, we have a declining population problem.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's so evident now. And and we've talked about this before, but like it's people are just not having kids because especially now it's like who would want to have a kid now in the recession, especially in the United States.
Oh, for sure. The US you're seeing like birth rates go down. I mean, it's weird how you hear about the argument that like the hillbillies and the extremists always trying to make. Like you're bringing in more people who have these birth rates. Like there's like insanely high birth rates. Why are you bringing so many like immigrants, brown skinned people just have nothing but babies? But like hillbillies kind of do it too, so it negates that. But they're all not having kids because they can't afford to have kids.
Yeah.
Unless they're really uneducated and they're having them because they just don't know any better.
Yeah, they have nothing else to do but
bang it out and just like popping out babies left and right. Lurleens and
Lurleen Lumpkins everywhere.
Lurleen Lumpkins
spent the last night in a ditch.
Oh, her career went down.
Yeah,
man, she was a real rock star. Or a real rising
that's
star.
funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking about her the other day.
And Homer came at her pretty hard.
Finally bagged me a Homer.
And Homer left, and her life went to shit.
Yeah,
she went from being like, what was her voice? It was somebody
like a voice of an angel.
The voice of an angel, but some like famous country singer.
I can't remember.
She went from that to like V.I. Warshawski. Like,
yeah, exactly. We're
like,
baggy-eyed, and she's like, and welcome, Lurleen Lumpkin. Lurleen, how's you doing today? I spent last night in the ditch.
Oh, what happened? Poor Lurleen.
Yeah.
I was
she hit the sauce pretty hard.
She hit the sauce pretty hard. Not to go totally off topic because we've got some stuff we'll cover. But I was watching and this is not an advertisement. So like, but if you want to give us some money, give us some money. Pluto TV. It's like a new service that showed up. Like Paramount owns it. It's in Canada now. It's just like tons of free content.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. But I was watching old episodes of Hawaii Five-0. from like the 60s or the 70s, whenever it came out. McGarrett era. The original McGarrett, not the new McGarrett. Before he was a Navy SEAL. Red Hots. Red Hots, not a sponsor of the show, but if you want to give us some money, we'll take your money.
Yeah, but these are great.
They are pretty great. But there were actors in that playing. They were obviously the age they are because I did look it up, and the characters they all look 50, like 55 years old, but they're 30. The actors are 30 years old, playing 30-year-olds, but they all look so old. I mean, it's not even a hard life. You're an actor. Pretty tame life.
Genetics were different back then.
Were they different back then?
Well, look, okay.
I think health maintenance, personal responsibility of your health was different back then.
Yeah, like okay, a lot of people look at me and they think I'm 30. Okay, and I'm like, I think our generation too, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people look at us and be like, they can't believe we're 44.
Just put it out there, huh?
Yeah,
just blow our cover.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, like I'm 40. Sure. I'll be 45 in. I'll be 45 in March.
It's coming up quick.
So, but.
We are old.
Genetics have changed as generations go on. So,
well, I think genetics might be okay. I think it's that health, like personal health, responsibility taking care of.
Well, that definitely has something to do with it. Yeah.
Because I mean, like, okay, if you look back in the day, if you saw a photo of Hasselhoff, the Hoff, remember he took that one photo where he's got like the jacket open, all the chicks were nuts for it, like all your friends, their sisters, the Hasselhoff poster is gross because he had like that greasy. Kind of like greasy body. Yeah. Like, this guy's gross, man. Like, what is going on here?
I don't know.
But then, like, all of a sudden, Burt Reynolds rolls up from Deliverance. Got arms that are just gigantic. He looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He's walking around shooting that bow and arrow. And it's like, well, no, that's a man. That's a man's man. So we better start doing some curls. That guy rolled up. And, like, all the bodies start changing, right? Mm-hmm. It's because they just didn't know. Like, this dude who's an actor who also happened to be an athlete rolls up. And he's in amazing shape. And you look like Hasselhoff with like your no shoulders. Like basically you look like it's like a loose shirt hung on a wire hanger. That's what your body was.
Yeah.
That's what they all look like.
Even like if you see True Survivor, the music video, his body hasn't changed a bit.
No. He looks rough.
He still looks gangly. Yeah.
It's all gangly and weird. Women had it, like, I think, significantly easier with the way they looked for a while because, like, you could just be a pretty girl and everybody thinks you're just a hot chick.
Yeah, I think also expectations of what women should look like from the 60s up until now really changed. Like look at Marilyn Monroe. Okay,
gorgeous.
But she had big thighs. She had a fat ass. She had like everything was. She was not tight anywhere.
You say it with disdain, but she was really pretty.
But she was like an icon. She was like a women's icon. The way she looked and the way she carried herself. So
it's the supermodels, man.
Yeah.
It was like fashion and just the idea of these clothing fit on a 5'10", like heroin chic sucked in.
Yeah, and I don't understand the backlash towards supermodels. When
you don't get the backlash?
I don't understand it.
I don't. Okay, I do understand it, and I don't understand.
I understand the jealousy.
The jealously as well.
Yeah, but I don't understand.
I don't get it on both sides.
I don't get it. Like, but the supermodels aren't saying that. Unless they're being total bitches, where they're like, why can't you be more like me, right? No real supermodel is saying that. But on the other side, they're like, I'm sure if you see it on a magazine saying like, that's not a real woman, how can I compete with that?
Right.
Like you're not able to.
You're not able to, but also like that's the dedication it takes to look like that is not something
it's not easy. It's not easy, yeah. You like they're just genetically gifted.
They're genetically gifted, and they vomit a lot, and they do a lot of heroin.
Oh yeah, they're like yeah. Don't be that's why I would say like don't be jealous of their lifestyle.
Yeah, it's not a great lifestyle.
Not all of them have fantastic lives.
No.
I'm sure most of them do, but there's a percentage that has like is bulimic and
they're
like
not emotionally well. Or mentally well.
Yeah, that lifestyle is like, they party off, they get paid to party and look good.
Right. That's what they're doing.
And put clothes on that look outrageous.
What I don't get is the idea that like, hey, so like a hater's concept of that supermodel looks the way she looks. I hate that. The clothing should be made more for my body type. It's like the clothing, like there is clothing
for you
that will make you look good. There's also have to get your ass in shape.
There's more low-end stores than high-end stores.
No, for sure. And they don't always have the best clothes, but at the same time, it's not like they're making dog clothing for humans.
Why don't you just temper your expectations?
I think that's a big part of it, too.
Yeah, like I'm not a supermodel.
Yeah, like I both agree and disagree with both ends of the argument equally. It's like I agree that you're saying that like it's an unattainable look, but I disagree that you can't eventually get there with a little bit of effort.
Yeah, you can get
a little bit. Yeah,
you can get to the point where the body type is almost similar.
Right.
But if these girls who look like their facial, is like a goddess. Yeah, then don't be jealous of that. Like you're not.
That's good.
You were not. You were in the '90s. You were not Sidney Crawford or Chrissy Turlington.
If you're eating bonbons, and you're sitting on the couch.
If you're Peg, then
if you're Peggy,
Peggy Bundy, then you dug your own grave. So
clearly, she's also doing something right because she looked pretty she's pretty rocking. Like Peggy Bundy,
Peg's awesome.
Peggy Bundy was a smoke show.
Yeah,
like I know she had the hair and she's kind of annoying, but like come on now.
Yeah, but she has an operatic voice. So
she does have an operatic voice.
Yep.
No, I think that's a big part of it. People have to temper their expectations on what they're angry about. Like if you're mad because a supermodel looks better than you, well, you got to look at what you're at. If you have 3 or 4 kids and you made those choices in life, and you decided to be a stay-at-home mom or a soccer mom, whatever the hell it was. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you did. You can't be mad at somebody else for doing what they're doing.
No, or you take that frustration and then you do a 180 and put it towards like going to the gym.
Turn it into something.
Yeah, go into like change your lifestyle and be
exactly.
Like that's then you'll have less to complain about.
And I'll say that
like I have her body, but I can't have her face.
I will say that as a guy who was not in the best shape for some time. I mean, like I was kickboxing at a very young age. But at the same time, like I had a lot of natural skill and I didn't really care about like, how I looked. So yeah, I was not an obese kid, but I was like a chunky little kickboxer. Mm-hmm. And I used to use it, like I have better weight, so I generate a lot of power and it worked out for me. It worked out to a point. And then after a while, like, I got into powerlifting and my knees started to hurt and my like joints were always in pain. It's like, oh, maybe I should just fucking turn things around a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I lost a shit ton of weight. And my biggest size was 240 something. And I just stopped weighing myself because I was like, I'm probably definitely over 250. Yeah. And then it was just a matter of like just grinding down and doing the work. And I'm not wealthy. I don't have like a gigantic full gym back there. It was nothing like that. It's just, start doing 100 push-ups a day. Mm-hmm. Start doing 100 squats. Start doing crunches. Eat right. Start running. Take care of yourself. All the things that you could do because I'm choosing to not make excuses and get myself to a different level of health. Mm-hmm. Because you make that choice. You have to make that choice.
You have to. Yeah.
You've got to.
And that's a lesson for all you people out there.
All you pigs out there just licking up the slop. Yeah. You complaining about how you look.
What's that line? You ate your way in, you can walk your way out.
You ate your way in. Go walk your way out. So we had this last time. One of the things that you brought up was the Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Andrew Tate. Yeah, like the world, like how the assholes are kind of taking over.
From the influential side, I should say.
The a-hole influencers taking over. Mm-hmm. I was on the. Like you haven't seen this, so if you're listening to this, you haven't seen it or heard it because that's the one that's gone. I'm on the side that I'm not a fanboy, but I appreciate Jake Paul because I think he's a disruptor. I like disruptors. Mm-hmm. I like Logan Paul. I think the crypto thing was shit, and I can't stand Andrew Tate because I think he's a fake it till he make kind of guy.
I think Andrew Tate says things that are good in the sense that they are common sense on some of his things.
Right.
I think he says a lot of things that are stupid.
Right.
And his delivery of it is just very douchey and abhorrent. Right. So that's the thing about him. Jake Paul, I think the way he's going after the UFC especially, mm-hmm. I think that's good.
I fucking love a disruptor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think a disruptor who uses his powers for good, mm-hmm. which I think is what Jake Paul is doing. You can say what you want about the guy, like the boxing and all that kind of crap. Like he's putting the time in, he's putting the effort in. But beyond all of that, the fact that he's disrupting an industry, which is like unionizing fighters.
Yeah.
Let's say that's the industry.
Yeah.
I am all over that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and I think and I think that's what the UFC needs that. Mm-hmm. If no fighter's going to stand up for anybody, why don't you just a guy who comes in who has all these followers, makes all that money, mm-hmm. willing to put his money where his mouth is.
Right.
And will go out there and fight whoever, and says it right to the president's face or the owner's face.
Right.
And says this, and this, and then the owner cannot capitulate to it. It's just it's hilarious. I think it's entertainment to me.
It really is. I think you really nailed it. It's hilarious. I like the fact that it's like in a way he's kind of doing to Dana White what Trump did to Hillary there.
Yeah.
Where he's cocky. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit more clever. He's got a great rapid fire sense of wit. He's wittier. Yeah, mm-hmm. A rapid fire wit that kind of comes out of nowhere, mm-hmm. and he's disrupting it. And I know, like, Dana White's probably, he's not smacking his wife in a nightclub on New Year's Eve. He's probably, like, pretty calm or pretty confident that it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, like, he does have, like, a large amount of control in whether or not his fighters can do that. Yeah. But at the same time, you've got to be nervous when there's a disruptor who's coming into your industry. And now he's getting into mixed martial arts.
Yeah, and like Jake Paul has very little to lose because like
That's right.
he'll put his cards on the table.
Exactly.
Dana White can't.
He can't put his cards on the table.
No.
He's owned by a much larger organization that will pretty much like manage him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a small amount of movement outside of that he can do, but at the same time, you think Endeavor's not walking up and be like, hey man, I need you to just like watch your shit. I can't imagine the conversation that happened after the slap.
Well,
the kapow.
Well,
which was a mutual kapow, it seemed.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, it was like you get hit, you hit.
Yeah.
So, like a reflex. Wham wham. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, there's I guess alcohol played a huge part into it, not as an excuse, but if your wife slaps you in a drunken rage, do you slap her back?
You should never hit a lady. Like you shouldn't. You should never be that guy. Like that's a bad look on a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Where you just like pop a chick for no reason. Like this is a pimp move. Where you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna smack a bitch. Like,
so it's a punk move too.
It's a punk move, right? Just like smacking a broad just because you're asserting your power over her.
Unless she kicks your dog or something like that, they can put it.
Oh yeah.
They put her in headlock. Yeah.
If she spits on a baby or kicks a puppy, I think you knock that broad the F out.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that'll stand up in court.
That'll stand up in court.
Yeah.
Your Honor, he hit me as hard as he could with all of his manpower and knocked my wig off.
Yeah.
And it was awful. And I want to sue him for everything he's worth. And the judge turns to the other guy and says, well, why'd you hit her?
Just pick up this puppy and be like, yeah.
Just picks up the puppy.
Yeah.
She kicked this puppy.
This puppy.
Like she was trying to get a field goal.
I'd like to submit this as evidence.
Submit this as evidence, Your Honor?
You can hold on to it throughout this whole proceeding.
Right. So, I saw red. I wound up. I popped her one.
Yeah.
Right across the jaw.
Or just a headlock.
Well, I mean, you should never hit a lady. Mm-hmm. You should never hit a lady.
Just a headlock.
Like, she kicks a puppy and they put her in a headlock. Are you good? Or maybe like an old like a WWE like 1989 bulldog.
Yeah, or just a figure four leg lock. Yeah.
Yeah, put her in a figure four.
Yeah.
Put her in a good old figure four.
Or scorpion or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but when they're in the club,
you know what you should do? Just give her the stunner.
Give her the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
Barely hurts. But learn a lesson.
Yeah.
You'll feel more pain than she will.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she'll pop up and go down, but like.
Right. But your ass hitting the concrete will maybe like fuck your back.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So maybe don't do that.
Your tailbone will crack. So.
But when you look at that video, it seems pretty obvious that these are two people who are very drunk. They're having that like classic like drunk girl, drunk guy argument. Mm-hmm. Like hands in the face, she's crying about something. He walks up, she yells at him, she pops him one, and he reflexes and he pops her back. Mm-hmm. You can almost see where he's like, bam. He thought about it like that split second, and the drunk guy in his head is like, do it. Oh, she's got to come and do it, and he does it. And it's not a good look.
No, it's not a terrible look. And he I remember his statement afterwards. He said like, well, he goes, what's my punishment going to be? Take me out for 6 days, fine me? He goes, is that going to solve anything?
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
He goes, this is my punishment. I have to sit here and I can't argue with you guys. For whatever you guys say to me, I have to take it and swallow it and eat it. And I have to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Mm-hmm. I mean, well, look at the comic books. When old Hank Pym smacked his wife. That's all we think about now.
Yep.
I mean, one character in a comic book, a fictional character in a comic book, hits his fictional wife in a comic book. And that character is just like, got a big red smart, like a mark on him. Forever. I mean, they can't even go back in comics and retcon that thing to make it be like, no, it just kind of happened because Ultron took over a body, like an LMD that looked like Hank Pym. And no, you can't do it, man. You had Hank Pym smack his wife, and forever.
Yeah.
It took having to cast Michael Douglas as Hank Pym to kind of like bring that character back to the light a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
the argument. What did it go ahead?
Oh no, sorry.
No, I'm saying about the conversation of what would have happened with Dana White. So he's got very little movement, and Jake Paul has lots of movement.
No, yeah, Dana White, he has been painted into a corner. Like all he can do now is promote fights.
Right.
Anyone says anything he goes, yeah, it was a great fight. Yeah, great. He was he knocked him out with just one punch. You're like, oh yeah, like same one with that you did with your wife. And he's like,
well, what's he got? And if he gets mad and like cold cocks, like if Ariel Helwani walks up and is like, hey Dana, nice shot.
Yeah.
And he whirls up and smacks Ariel.
That
is no bueno. It's like, oh, he's just hitting everybody now.
Yeah, Jake Paul has it just threw more ammunition in Jake Paul's corner.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, you never know. The Fighters Union, I think, is a really good idea. Hopefully, it works out.
I think so. I think maybe. Do you think this thing is kind of the thing that will kind of push into more in that direction where the Fighters Union is possible?
Dana smacked his wife?
Yeah.
Oh no, I think that holds no water. I think he's gonna. But for all of that, like we just went over all of that, like we're joking around, whatever.
Okay,
it is,
wait, but
he recovers from that.
But you think this? But you think the snowball effect, where Jake Paul will be like, no?
I think the smack's got nothing to do with business, and the business has nothing to do with the smack. I think it comes down to if you have enough people from other organizations that get involved, and then you end up eventually doing what the UFC is just like the UFC. They've got their own fighters, they're all signed, they do their own thing. What it's doing now, they've got contracts in the UFC, whatever they are. Because even those contracts are kind of weird, right? I mean, depends on like when you fight and who you fight and what time of the year, all that kind of crap they do. They hold their fighters to that kind of stuff. So I don't think that's going to affect that at all. I think other organizations might unionize, and who knows, they get bigger and better and badder. But like they're not bad. Like one is really good. Bellator is really good. PFL, like this, all the organizations are really good, and they have great fighters there. So if they all unionize and do their own thing. I think the UFC can almost be like, yeah, fuck it, we're not going to do it. We got our own guys. We'll do our own thing. We don't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So for all that fun that we just had, I don't think the union's going to hit the UFC.
Okay.
And if it does, it's probably going to be because like, it might be where fighters are either like really getting hurt. Maybe concussions are worse in the UFC. Maybe they get wilder. Maybe the slap league ends up being the kind of thing where it's like, well, if you're just like going to stand there and let somebody smack you in the head, knocking heads off.
Yeah, I was watching that.
That's pretty bad.
I've been watching Smack League for like the slapping competitions for the past like maybe 7 years.
You're the one that introduced me to them.
Yeah,
I didn't know what they were until let me show you.
Yeah, and then I was watching it. And I'm like, it was cool to see that as a niche thing. I don't want to see that as a league.
You mean the concussion league?
Yeah, like I don't want to see like I don't like seeing like women slapping other women, even though these women look like they're roided up as hell or whatever like that.
Right.
I don't want to see that. Like, but that's just me, right? There's the appetite for it somewhere, right? But like when the guys do it, it's like because every time like I guess the reason I'm like the opposite of that is like where I'm like I do want to see it is like because you have those moments when you watch sports. Is when you're like this, when you're just like, whoa. You have that reaction where it's like, holy crap.
Right.
And then, so you see that every single time after every slap.
Right.
Like in basketball, when someone hits a three, you're just like, okay, good. Okay, whatever. Oh, great. Whatever, right? Regular season, who gives a shit? Playoffs, who gives a shit? And then until you get to the finals, okay? But slap season is like, every single shot is a like, what the fuck was that?
Right.
How did you,
shot.
or you're like, how did you take that and still standing? Or, right. Whoa, that guy's going to the hospital.
It's like to use your basketball analogy, it's like and earlier we talked about we're seeing too much, right? It's like if you see 3-pointers, like could you imagine the first 3-pointer you saw, like the first 3-pointer the NBA saw, you're like, wow, from so far away you got that, that was amazing, right? But then we've seen so many we're desensitized. But now when you see a shot from the other end of the court, like those Hail Mary, buzzer's about to go, launch the ball.
Yeah, Stephen Curry's
like wild, just like if you see those, you're like, whoa. So those are the whoa now. But the slap league, when you first showed them to me, I was like, every shot was kind of like, okay, he got hit pretty hard, but every now and then some gigantic, thick farmer Russian would just like wallop some kid with like eyeball tattoos.
Yeah, none of these guys have necks.
They're no necks. So those are the whoa moments. But now those are even few and far between.
Yeah,
all
so
the shots.
Yeah, so I think if you bring it into a league, it's like, what do you like? What else can you bring to that? The idea of it being like lower tier, like just kind of like being just underground sports kind of. That's what made it so special. You're like, holy crap, I didn't like when I first saw it. I was like, what the hell? What the hell have I been missing this? I've been missing this, right? Why would you pay someone or under contract, or you make $50,000, or you make $50,000 like every 20 for a 2-minute match where you're just slapping each other to death?
Right.
That's just, I don't know. It just seems so ridiculous, but like I said, there's an appetite for it. So
there's an appetite for it, and that's what weirds me out. It's like I can get the novelty. Like how long could this last for?
Yeah, until you have like a broken jaw or like missing teeth. Right. Like I guess they put a guard in there, right? But like
still though.
Yeah, but like when you're just knocked senseless,
blown eardrums and concussions.
Yeah, like there's very little difference. Like you might know more than me if I'm just correct if I'm wrong, but like getting slapped in the face and getting like knocked out rather than just getting punched in the face and getting knocked out. What is the inherent difference? I
mean, they're both similar, right? I mean, not even similar. They're the same thing.
So if I hit you like this,
right,
open palm, right? I hit you right in the jawline, right? And this is straight. These four fingers are straight. I hit these really hard.
The old karate chop.
And not like this.
Right.
I mean like that.
Yeah.
Or I take my fist and punch you in the face like that.
Right.
and I hit you and you get knocked out. Okay. Bottom line, either cases you're knocked out. Okay.
Right.
What is the difference?
The difference to your brain is super similar.
It's super similar, right?
Yeah, you're rocking the brain, right?
Okay.
Now, the difference between, say, like a bare knuckle punch to the mouth,
yeah,
and you just like cold cock me like that. Mm-hmm. I mean,
that might do more damage.
It can break your jaw, break your teeth. Mm-hmm. I mean, it can dislocate your jaw.
Yeah.
You know, next thing you know, you got like TMJ, you got surgery, got all sorts of issues you're not going to recover from properly. On top of that, you've got the concussion. So you've walled the brain around the skull. That's been hitting the walls of the skull. You're all fucked up from that.
Yeah, because also like it depends. Like someone who knows how to punch very well, who's pretty strong,
right?
Or a guy who's really built and knows how to slap very well.
There's
I guess they kind of even themselves.
They kind of even themselves out in the sense that a concussion is a concussion.
Yeah.
Like if you you get those guys who are on the jet skis getting concussions, right?
Yeah.
Just bounce around the water, their heads banging around. Wakeboarders, bull riders,
their bodies just go limp, and they're just like,
like
that.
They're just moving around, their heads getting tossed around.
Yeah.
So that's concussion. So the danger of like CTE is there, but the difference between like a closed fit, like okay, it's like saying, would you rather get a concussion from getting hit in the head with a pillow, or a concussion from getting hit in the head by a 2x4?
Yeah.
Like the 2x4 clearly can do more.
It'll do
trauma.
It'll do more and more surface damage as well.
More surface damage as well, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, if you're still getting concussion from both of those things, both of those impacts, right? Then you're still getting a concussion, but there's the bonus damage from the 2x4.
Yeah.
Right. Like the pillow's gonna hit you, but like, it's not gonna break a whole lot of bones.
No, I think they actually. I'm not sure. I think it's.
It all sucks.
I don't know. Yeah, I just think it's a. I think it's a fun thing to do,
right?
But a dumb thing to glorify.
And I think so.
Yeah,
I would rather see like WWE style chest slaps. Like, how about we see chest slaps?
Yeah, like these ones, right?
Yeah. Well, no, the open hand, the old Big Show salmon.
Oh, the Big Show, yeah.
The salmon being smacked across your chest.
Okay, do you prefer the salmon or the Ric Flair?
Well, the Ric Flair is still a salmon, was backhanded. He wasn't chopping like karate chop.
Oh, okay. So
he was still open-handed.
Oh, okay.
He was doing backhands. Okay. And he does forehands too, like usually an open hand one way or a backhand the other way, right? I would rather see let's get a competition of that, because that's dumb shit we used to do as kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna hit you in the chest as hard as I can.
It probably will.
And you hit me in the chest.
It will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll see that.
If Ric Flair wants to start that league, he can.
I'm doing it. So, hey, speaking of the old WWF there, WWE, hear about the old bonkers news going on last week?
No.
Monday Night Raw hits. And the 3 or 4 days prior to that, Vince McMahon, who has been ousted from the company because he was screwing everything that moves.
Yeah.
He was just like screwing around. And they were like, well, it's fine. No big deal. It's like, well, apparently he was not just screwing around. He was getting hush money, upwards like $25 million from like WWE coffers to pay off all the ladies he's been fucking around with. So they put him out to pasture. This is like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that I knew, yeah.
McMahon was out, right? You can't just go screwing around and putting hush money out from the company's funds to cover chicks up because you were screwing around behind the backs of your wives, right? So that goes on. It's him, it's John Laurinaitis, it's a few other people.
John Laurinaitis, yes.
He was there as well. He was involved. They all kind of Super Dave Osborne of WWF.
Yeah.
They all kind of leave. They're kind of very publicly outed and ashamed. Last week, McMahon, he reinstates 2 board members, and then he gets himself voted back in. And now he is the executive chairman of the board once more, apparently because he's going to be involved in the sale of the company. Only the sale, no creative. Stephanie McMahon quits on Monday night. She leaves. This is not kayfabe. It's all real. She resigns from the company. She writes a very nice letter to the board, writes a very nice letter in public saying that I'm fully behind, like onwards and upwards. He's going to do the right thing. He's out. And then Tuesday, the news breaks that the Saudi PIF is buying WWE.
What?
Yeah. And the internet goes fucking bananas. This wasn't just like wrestling news. This was major news. The sports washing of the Saudi royal family through the PIF, from the golf tournaments, now sports, mixed martial arts,
soccer,
all the shit they're paying into, and now the biggest sports entertainment franchise in the world. They've bought that as well.
Holy.
And on Wednesday morning, the news breaks. It's all bullshit. It didn't happen. The Saudi private investment fund or public investment fund.
Mm-hmm. Is it Aramco?
Pardon?
It wasn't Aramco, right?
No.
Yeah.
PIF. Yeah. So the PIF is
Oh, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, what are we talking about? No.
Longer buying the company, and possibly never was even involved in talks the way it was reported the night before. Total BS. All crap. It could go anywhere it goes now. So Stephanie is still actually out. Mm-hmm. McMahon, she is out. But it seems like every Monday and every Friday now, you're getting these like group meetings with Triple H in the back room with talent, being like, everybody's gonna calm down. Vince is just here to like do a sale, and that's it. You guys are still cool. I'm still in charge of creative. Because ever since he left, the first event after that was SummerSlam, which was gorgeous. I mean, at SummerSlam, it was almost like Triple H was destroying the WWE of the McMahons. He brought like a bulldozer, like a forklift that friggin' Brock Lesnar drove in and destroyed the ring. Mm-hmm. They were actively, visually showing us as fans that you are in a new era. Old people who'd been forced out, not old as in age-wise, but previously released wrestlers were all back in. Everything was going great. People were loving it. The vibe was different. It was like we're back to the 90s, man. It felt good again. You're watching like really fun, high-level stunt work, great storytelling. Everybody's back to being happy. Mm-hmm. And McMahon just fucking waltzes back in with his big McMahon walk, blowing his quads out, just puts himself back in. Everybody's depressed again.
Oh.
AEW, which is like another company out there. Mm-hmm. It's a company that Cody Rhodes kind of put together with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and the Khans, the Jacksonville Jaguar Khans. That was the new company, and a lot of like rumblings from there. People aren't super happy with that company either. Yeah. So now that Triple H is in charge and Stephanie's running the show, they can all come back to WWE. They can't do that anymore because old VKM is back in power.
Oh,
Vinnie Mac, run the show again. It's drama, man. It's gorgeous.
Oh,
beautiful drama.
Well, can't wait to see it.
See what happens. So now it seems like it's either Disney or Comcast, NBC Universal. They're the front runners because NBC Universal runs the Monday night show.
Yeah.
And they have Peacock and all the library and the entire network. The WWE network is on Peacock. Mm-hmm. So they're probably going to be the ones who end up doing it. JP Morgan is now involved in kind of like their they're advisors in the sale, so they're trying to make sure everything goes smoothly. But it's either going to be Disney or Peacock, it seems like, or NBC. So maybe Comcast.
How much is WWF worth?
They're saying $10 billion.
Okay.
So $10 billion is the numbers being thrown around, maybe upwards of 12. But it seems like either way, he's going to make a profit of maybe like $3 to $5 billion, maybe, McMahon, on the sale. Like that's just going to go to them.
Why not?
But he also will no longer have any kind of control in the company. Like his shares will be like moot. Like right now he has like actual control, right?
Yeah.
So he can do what he did, where he manipulates the board and brings 2 more members in. Now 3 of them vote him in, or vote in how they're going to sell the company. So if he is out, if it's Comcast, it seems like they're very keen on keeping Triple H and Stephanie because creatively they're the ones who are the driving force of the company, and they're the ones responsible for the best storytelling so far.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. In years, right? Mm-hmm. Who would have thought Triple H would be such a genius creative guy for the company? But he is.
Yeah,
he's doing an incredible job.
Yeah, because I still think the overall, the Attitude Era was the best.
It was the best.
It was the best.
The Attitude Era.
It was the best thing on television.
It was the best thing on television. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, Monday nights and Thursday nights were just
like Raw and SmackDown.
Didn't matter who you were. If you were a kid, an adult, a banker, a finance man, a fucking thug, a bum, didn't matter what you did. You knew what was going on in wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, like there was and it was just like legends came out of that. Like I even saw I remember I was watching the NBA and I was watching LeBron James come out of the thing. He had a shirt that says LeBron 316.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, everyone, even point guards had 316 like shoes and sneakers and everything. I'm like, these guys they love
and it wasn't John 316. No, it was white font on a black background. It was Austin 316.
Yeah, and incredible. I remember Steve Austin went for like sneaker shopping, and they were telling him like, he goes, do you know how many athletes like love your shoes and everything, and like shoes that have your name on them, they custom make them and stuff. And then he's like, he goes, it's an honor. He goes, this is great.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then he's like, he goes, what shoes do you want? He's like, I need a pair of Kobe's. He goes, I gotta pay respects to the legend.
That's awesome. That is so cool. But yeah, I mean, it was the number one thing going. So in that, have you been watching Young Rock at all?
No, I never watched it. Yeah.
Pretty great show. Mm-hmm. It's pretty great for as a wrestling fan because it's not just a Dwayne Johnson show. It's a wrestling show.
Yeah.
But in that last week they had this character on. So it's the Attitude Era. He's the he's the Intercontinental Champion at this point in his career.
Yeah.
He's in the locker room and he's kind of starting to climb up, but he's still not a top guy. Mm-hmm. Triple H, I think, has just won the title.
Yeah. And
they show you this backstage moment where McMahon is talking to the 2 top guys in the company right now, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Chad Frost.
Okay.
And Chad Frost is this black guy wearing a cut-off denim jacket. He's got a long ponytail. And his knee has recently blown out. And he's going to go away for a little while, leaving room for The Rock to come in. But who the fuck is Chad Frost? We don't know who Chad Frost is. Yeah. There was no Chad Frost in WWE.
Yeah, that is, I was like, I was sitting there, I'm like, who the fuck is Chad Frost?
But who was a top guy whose knee blew out? Who was about 5'11", who had a ponytail, who was a sexy boy?
It's Shawn Michaels.
He was a boy toy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Chad Frost. They're using a pseudonym because later on in the episode you find out that Chad Frost had gone into McMahon's office and shit-talked the hell out of The Rock. He's not ready. He's got a big head. He's no good. You're going to get rid of him sooner or later. And The Rock's push gets muted for a little while after that.
Oh, okay.
Because Shawn Michaels had enough swing, but there were writers in the room that went back to The Rock and told him, hey, man, just so you know, Shawn Michaels is talking a lot of shit about you.
Yep. There's did you know did you hear about that story about Conan O'Brien and The Rock?
No. Oh, you mean the what's it called? The dialogue thing where Conan was saying stuff?
Yeah, and then
it wasn't SmackDown. It was something else.
It was
Candy Ass?
Yeah, it was so Conan's was with the writers, and they trying to like get his writers pissed off or whatever, and he said, hey, he goes to the hey, you guys. He goes, why don't you all calm down before I pour you guys a glass of shut up juice?
It's like cold glass of shut up juice.
And then what happens is Conan's writer leaves for he quits the Conan show and he goes to write for the WWF, and he's writing for The Rock, and he goes to and then The Rock says that line live, and so as soon as that because then the writer says like, Rock's gonna use that. He goes, watch Raw tonight. Yeah. Watch Raw tonight. And so Conan's like, he started watching it, and The Rock used that line.
Yeah.
Because why don't you just? He goes, I'm gonna pour you a glass of shut up juice.
Why don't you pour yourself a nice cold glass of shut up juice?
And then he's like, are you mad? He's like
mad.
He's like, you crazy man? The Rock just said my line.
It's so
I'm
good.
honored.
It's so good. I mean, when you watch, especially now, like going back to Young Rock and then going to YouTube, so that's what I did right away. Mm-hmm. That guy had so many great promos. Like, he was just a promo machine.
Yeah. His promos were... Yeah, he had the best promos ever, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think when it came to mic work and charisma, he's number one.
He's number one, yeah. I think Ric Flair was just too... He was too crazy.
Ric Flair was really good in that early 80s NWA era.
Yeah, he was good then.
Yeah.
But he just got too crazy. When he turned red, you're just like... I feared for his health.
But he's going to have a stroke.
Yeah, but Stone Cold Steve Austin was up there as well.
Right. He's more menacing.
And but he's also like that dynamic between him and Vince when they were like going at each other.
Yeah.
That was that was also one of the funniest.
It was perfect.
Like the bedpan.
The bedpan's number one.
Is number one.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you've ever watched the Stone Cold, it was like an older WWE Network era documentary. Mm-hmm. It might have been a Netflix thing before the network. But there's a great story that he tells about when McMahon's in the bed and he's sitting around doing whatever he's doing, and he just hears like a spung, and he's like, "The fuck is that? Like, what are you doing?" Mm-hmm. And they go up and they go into the hallway and they see Stone Cold like binging off a bedpan on his own head.
Yeah,
because he's trying to find the sweet spot for the best sound. He's like, "Where's the best sound going to come from?" And he found it. Because when you hear him hit McMahon, it's a perfect, like ringing gong / cowbell sound.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
That's a belly laugh moment where you're just like, as soon as you hear it,
right,
you are grabbing your stomach and just like you explode with laughter.
When you see him pull out the catheter and he's gonna give him the enema, the look on me, like, say what you will about Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah, that guy he sold his soul to make that. Oh, his family. He put his family on the line. He put everything. He put the show first.
Yeah. He sold for Stone Cold so hard.
Yeah.
Better than I think most wrestlers would have sold for another wrestler.
I think so.
I think McMahon sold harder than almost anybody else. That's the thing, the whole deal with the Ric Flair coming in to buy the company.
Yeah.
Like the look on his face there, the thing where he's rubbing his ear, he's getting all freaked out and he doesn't know what's happening. All of that, it's just, man, that guy could have gotten Oscars. If he was an actor in a different life, he would have been a top level guy.
Oh yeah, he should have got the Peabody Award.
Not the Peabody Award. At least he'd at least be in the running for an EGOT.
Yeah, or maybe you know what? He should get the Mark Twain Award.
The Mark Twain Award.
Yeah,
get the Mark Twain. Well, I mean, you never know. There's still time.
Yeah.
If it turns out all those ladies lied about the rapes. Well, there were no rapes. It seems like they're more like
that's like thing that's why I can't give Vince McMahon like as much credit as I want to give him for like just putting it all on the line, stuff like that. Like that's just all that other stuff just brings him to like.
It's hard to look the other way.
It brings him to the guy should be buried underneath the bottom of the prison.
I mean, the only way that you can look the other way on somebody committing those many alleged sexual atrocities.
Yeah.
Is if they wrote Billie Jean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, he's the only guy who's got a pass.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody else, we still look at him like, what the fuck? What a monster. What a fucking monster. And then you hear Billie Jean and you just forget that, you know, all these kids are saying that maybe they got diddle or something.
I don't know, man.
As soon as Billie Jean starts and we suddenly just no longer give a shit.
Yeah.
It's a tough call.
It's a tough call, man. I don't know what
tough call.
That's the thing. Like, I can just, like, the thing is, like, I can go back and just appreciate it in the moment.
Right.
And just say, like, you know what? This is what I enjoyed. And then everything else is like, yeah, it is what it is. So, like, I can do the same thing with Michael Jackson. Like, people say, like, he did this with all these kids and that.
Right.
But I can go back and watch his music videos, watch Moonwalker, watch Thriller, listen to Thriller, listen to his old music. I can enjoy that.
Right.
Okay. Everything after, and then all the allegations and stuff like that. I'm like, people are just free to believe what they want to believe. So,
but I can't do the same thing with Gary Glitter. I mean, like, if you think about, like, Gary Glitter, even that Savile, Jimmy Savile, like, those people are dead to the world, rightly so. Well, Gary Glitter's out now. I think, like, last week or something he got out. He only served half the time that he did. The Joker movie used Rock and Roll Part 2. I mean, we were supposed to ban that from existence. That was supposed to, like, burn that song to the ground. This guy's a rapist. Yeah. He's a Cosby era, like Phil Spector, Jimmy Savile, Gary Glitter, Michael Jackson. Like, these are the eras of people where, like, let's fucking burn it to the ground. But, like, Rock and Roll Part 2 in a movie for the first time since the accusations.
Yeah.
That guy's lucky he didn't die in Thailand. Like, Gary Glitter should have been, like, he's lucky the cops got to him before the street got to him.
Street got to him, yeah.
Because that would have been a Carradine moment right there.
Yeah.
dead in a closet. Yeah. You diddled the wrong kid, man.
Yeah.
You diddled the wrong girl, and that's just what it is. Hey, so here's one for you, actually.
Sure.
We can kind of keep going here.
Yeah.
The Astro Boy Canadian dub.
The Edmonton dub.
It was a Newfoundland, Quebec dub.
Okay.
We had it here in global. It's a global dub.
It's a global dub, yeah.
But it was in the East Coast.
Yeah.
Mostly lost to time. Almost all gone. We look back on it fondly.
Yes.
There's only about 10 episodes left. I actually just downloaded them all. There's only about 10 episodes left. The problem was the VHS that these things were recorded on were all used for multiple other things and just completely destroyed.
Okay.
So there's almost no Astro Boy Canadian left. I was watching it, and I was watching some of the original, like, the American dub.
Yeah.
And I think nostalgia might have been what kept me on those dubs. Because the Canadian dub, dare I say, is the inferior dub. It is the inferior. So much of the violence is cut out.
Okay, yeah. You know,
action is cut out.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Okay, the voices and the names they used are just like they're more what I remember. Because like, when you watch, when you think about cartoons, it's like, you know, what did you enjoy them because it reminds you of when you were a kid. Okay.
Right.
With the new dub that you can buy on Blu-ray and stuff like that, or DVD, whatever.
Well, the American dub, right?
At
the same time.
Yeah, the voices are so annoying.
They're
irritating. The names have all changed.
Right.
But
Tom and Turk.
But yeah, exactly.
Balfus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peabody.
Professor Peabody. Yeah. So like Slippery. So like, but
Orin.
They're uncut. Yeah. But yeah, Sarah is Orin now or whatever. But they're uncut.
So
you can see more action.
It's significantly more.
Yeah.
Like, I think
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Like the Tom and Turk killing all the robots.
Yeah.
Cut completely out of the Canadian dub because we had more stringent.
Because even
regulations.
Because even when I go back to it, I'm like, why the hell was that? There's a scene missing somewhere.
Right. It feels like
there's something missing.
Something's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, outside the voices not being great.
Yeah.
The actual content that you get is so much better on the American,
the content,
international.
Yeah, because like even like that one with like the most powerful robot in the world, that one, like, you know, when they're fighting and they come together and they stop the volcano from exploding. Astro Boy says he goes where is he? He's like he's hiding in that volcano, and he comes out. He's a different robot,
different entirely.
And they're like. And he's like, why'd you come out of there? And then Astro Boy's like, why'd you come out of there? And he comes out and he's that huge, like, double eagled head.
Because he is a different robot.
Yeah, it's a different robot. But in the American dub, it shows that robot killing Commenter.
Right.
Or whatever he's called,
Bluto.
right? Yeah, and Bluto, right? So, yeah, it's like you pick your poison. Like, do you want nostalgia? Or do you want a more, like, fleshed out thing, right? So you have to pick your poison.
The truth is, like, when I do hear the intro to the like Dr. Tenma version compared to the Professor Balfus, it's the nostalgia isn't there. The nostalgia is there for the Canadian intro for me.
Yeah, and I just find that, yeah, because like I would rather, for me personally, if I had to watch them again, I think ignorance is bliss. So I'd rather just watch the older ones than watch the newer ones, because just the voices just take me right out of it.
Yeah, the new voice acting. Well, not the new voice acting, is the alternate, the international American voice acting.
Yeah,
because they were done at the same time. I think the American one was done like 83. The Canadian one was done in 84, 85.
Okay.
So they were both done around the same time. It's just when it finally came to Canada, because of content, they had to redub it because they were cutting so much of it out.
Yeah.
So they redubbed it with a lot of Canadian actors and cut a lot of the content out. But the American dub is significantly whinier.
It's whinier.
The voice acting is way whinier.
It's way too childish.
High pitched, very childish. Like the style is different, but god damn if it isn't cool to see some like missing plot elements.
It is it is, and I've seen the plot elements that, you know, especially like some of the episodes where like you could see like more action, but I'm like, but I can watch those episodes again and remember everything.
Right. And
so I'm like, I'd rather just watch it with the voices that I like,
right,
and just ignore the fact that I miss.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't mean like I wish I could do what you do. I mean, I wish we could have all of the Canadian dub, and then have watched them both and just know the complete story, but just fill in the gaps myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like fill the gaps in my head where what's actually happening.
That's what I'm gonna have to. If I had access to those episodes, I would watch it and just enjoy them.
Yeah. It would be great to actually get like a better dub done now.
Yeah.
Just redub the whole thing. I'll tell you, I did the same thing with Giant Robo. I had the old VHS. I had all the VHS for Giant Robo, and they're great. The OVA, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Black Attaché, all that kind of stuff. And it was the nostalgia was great for those ones. But when I finally heard the alternate dub, the newer version of it with the 5.1 surround, my God, it's so much better. But the nostalgia wasn't there. Some dialogue is different. It just didn't hit me the same way.
Yeah, I remember like I was watching the Pioneer dub of Akira. I was watching it on 4K, so they have they have the 1988 English one, the streamlined version,
right?
And they have the Pioneer dub with the English version, that one, and they have the Japanese version. Okay, cannot watch the Pioneer English version because the voices are just like they're terrible. It sounds like they sound like whiny teenagers.
The Pioneer version is the most recent one I've watched. I felt like my best friend betrayed me. Yeah. Or just did something and I can't get over it. It's like the whiny, like, Kaneda is just such a little punk.
He sounds like he's late for the prom.
Oh, he's the worst. Like, he's just got the whiniest voice. Whereas in the Streamline, the original dub,
it's unbelievable. Yeah.
He sounds like a guy who's got some shit to do. Yeah. Like, there are moments in it that are for, like, comedic effect where he is a little bit, like, kind of whiny about stuff they're going to take care of.
But that's based on the anime. Right. That's how he is.
That's how he is in the manga. Yeah. That's kind of how he is. Like, he finally gets his shit together and he mans up and he gets it done.
Yeah. And it's Leonardo's voice.
It's Leonardo's voice. Yeah. But in the Ninja Turtles there, buddy, if you're wondering who we're talking about. Not Da Vinci. Yeah. But but it's so much better. It's the nostalgia is better, the style is better, everything about it is better.
Yeah, much better.
Now the new one looks really good.
Yeah. We were just at my uncle's house, we were trying to like he got that new top line Samsung surround soundbar, whatever it is.
You're saying, yeah.
Yeah, so he said, so I just wanted to like I brought my 4K player, but I just wanted to like test what Akira sounded like. And fuck, man, holy crap.
Sounds pretty great.
Sounds good, yeah. It still has it. The remaster, the 4K remaster was really good. But sounds better on a Sonos.
You love your Sonos. I don't know. Sonos is that thing to me. I remember how when Xbox is that Xbox 360, which like, you know, nothing was backwards compatible and the machine kept dying. And it was just like a bad entry. And Sony came in, it's like, yeah, you can trade your games if you want to. And like the PS3 works fine, just relax. Plug it in, it works. Yeah. I was that with Sonos and Samsung. Sonos kind of did that thing where all of a sudden it's like, hey, yeah, it all works, but you got to pay us a little bit of money every month. That subscription service they tried for a little while. Then the updates are bricking all the old boxes or all the old speakers.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
This is before I think you got into it.
Oh, okay.
Because I think you got into Sonos right afterwards, and they've kind of fixed those problems. They go along. Yeah, because I haven't forgiven them for the earlier issues.
Yeah, because I got their the Arc, which is their second gen, and I got their the subwoofer, which is their third gen.
Subwoofer, huh? Why you guys make it so fancy?
Fuck, you should hear this thing, man. It's a house shaker.
Oh, it's a subwoofer. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna hit a few extra things. Rolling Stone successfully trolled their fans the end of last year.
Yeah.
2022 with the top 20 or top 200, top 200 singers, and Celine Dion's on it. Like a bunch of like really like actual legitimate singers aren't on it, but it's like Steve Jackson of the Marples. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, there's a bunch of no-name people on it.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't remember who was number one.
There was actually, do you hear about that text about from Anthony Bourdain saying that, I guess it's a new book that's coming out. I'm not sure what it is, but like,
please tell me he's still alive.
Oh no, he's
faked his death.
Yeah. He said this company, this lady who was like, I guess worked with him or whatever it was, saying that he texted her about just a little while before he died, saying that I hate my life, I fucking hate my fans, they're a bunch of idiots.
Oh god, that's some depression.
And so now his estate is saying that's all lies.
I would imagine.
So he's like, you're just labeling him, and so they're just even though he's dead,
right?
Yeah, so it's just it's pretty sad.
It is sad, man. Because there is that one assistant of his that helped write the previous book and did the documentary. The one that came out like a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember what it was called. But she's kind of like the one. I don't know if it was her, but I would not be surprised if this is a guy who is dealing with a lot of demons, and there were ups and downs in his life, man. So if you're the kind of person who's going through all that shit, then you're shacked up with the worst human being that you could possibly be with.
Yeah. Who
poisons you little by little, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it is.
Yeah, she just turns every gear that you turned off, they turn them on.
Your self-loathing, she cranks up to 11.
Yeah.
So I think eventually you're going to have these days where you feel like everything is fraudulent. Yeah. Your fans are frauds, you are a fraud, the career you've built up is all bullshit. Your imposter syndrome is through the roof. That could happen.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he did say that. And maybe this is damage control now from the publishers. We're trying to or his estate.
Yeah.
So who knows, man? I don't know. I can't say. That guy was going through a lot of shit.
Yeah. So is Prince Harry.
His book is the spare.
Yeah, his book is selling like hotcakes.
The suckers.
The suckers, yeah.
That, while we're getting that CoffeeZilla busting all the crypto cons, like how about we get a CoffeeZilla version for the books? Like, look at you, man. This is a fraud. This is a fraud.
Yeah,
this is fraud.
This book is selling like you wouldn't even believe.
Yeah, you wrote a fictionalized account of your life. Who knows how much was accurate, or maybe just your own personal shit you're going through. Like 30 years from now, he's gonna look back at this book and be like, "I'm a fucking idiot."
Yeah,
I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I'm such a dummy.
I remember like I was with Jamie. We were walking through like chapters, and then that one of their books was there or whatever, and then she's like, "Oh, look, there's this book here." I'm like this lady was looking at it, and then I looked at it. She goes, "Oh, there's that book," and I'm like, "Who gives a fuck?" Like basically, right? And the lady looks at me, and she's like, "Thank you, somebody said it." And
I think everybody's saying it. I'm like, not saying it out loud. In
this is ridiculous. Then Jamie was like, "Oh, there's I want to see about the one I went through." I'm like, there is no racism. She's barely like I was sitting there. I'm like, this is everything that comes out of their mouth is pure garbage. Fuck off.
Here's the deal. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some people who, because honest to God, like Obama and her, it's like you're too black to join the country club, but you're too white to have racism affect you. I think I call bullshit on that 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think the second you look a little bit different and you're clearly black, like you clearly have some black in you, it's like all these guys come out of the woodwork to either shit on you because you are different, you're a part of a minority. And then when it comes down to you complaining, they're going to come up your ass and be like, well, like that's just you being whiny because you're not all black. Like, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. However, that is a very privileged life that you're entering.
Yes.
And you should kind of know what you're getting into as a minority. Like, this shit's going to affect you.
Yeah.
So I kind of think like you need to go in eyes open, and maybe they didn't.
I think they kind of like, I think she knew that was going to happen.
I think so.
And they planned their way around that.
It could have been.
Could be.
It could have been. Yeah. I also don't think anything they put out there, books, whatever it is, I don't think any of this stuff isn't fully thought out by all parties.
It has to be.
Involved.
This is all orchestrated like perfectly.
Yeah, I think it is all orchestrated.
Yeah, that's just how right. Yeah, I think it's just it's absolute trash.
It's a way for them to be relevant, and I don't think for a second there wasn't like royal advisors who were involved in the editing, making, whatever it was. I think all of this is just a way for them to be relevant because they've got nothing else going on. There's nothing else going on at all. Yeah. And it's not going to affect them in the long run. Like, so, yeah, I think it's all bullshit. But I'm a firm believer for all those people who come out there and they're like, well, like for like anybody's half a minority or half a POC or half black, whatever it is. It's like, it's always the same thing, man. You are always too dark to join the country club, and you're always too white to complain about having racism thrown in your face.
Yep.
It's like, that seems to be like the thing. It's like, just, that's what all the majority always kind of brings about. Like Obama, the Republicans were always like, well, you know, he's not really black. It's like, but he's black enough for you to be racist towards him.
Yep.
It's like, fuck you. Like, that's always like a little dog whistly bullshit they pull out there.
Can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways, man. Either he's not black, in which case shut your mouth and let the president run the country.
Yeah.
Or she's not black, so you shut your mouth and like ignore it. Or she is black and you're a bit of a piece of shit. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's my thing about it. But I do think the book is bullshit. The book is propaganda.
Yeah, it's a waste of paper.
It's a waste of paper. That's all crap. Let's see. We were talking about the Fred Durst thing. We'll get back to that. We'll save all this for the next episode. There's a bunch of stuff we had that we lost.
Yeah.
That we'll save for the next episode. I think we nailed a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, other than that, how was your week?
Good.
It was good stuff.
So far, so good. Yeah, just recovering, and just recovering from the weekend. Just getting sleep.
We're gonna have a conversation, probably with the cameras off, about an item that I think you might be interested in.
Okay.
I recently pulled a trigger. I put my money where my mouth was, where my mouth is, and I bought myself a refurbished MacBook Air instead of buying a new computer. So buying something new, I needed something. And instead of going like full on new, I just went straight up. It's not here yet. It comes here on Friday. But I went to the refurb store. I just couldn't buy new. It was just one of those things where I just had to, because I'm the guy who's always saying that. Children digging shit out of the ground with their fingers and a stick to get the lithium that goes in all of our shit. I was like, I couldn't do it. I had to buy refurbished. Ethically, that was the choice for me to make. But there is a new item that came out that might fit your return window for the item that you recently bought.
Oh, it's too late now.
Is it too late?
Yeah.
Oh God, because the M2s just came out.
Oh, I didn't care.
Oh my God, they're beautiful.
No, they're nice, but
like more horsepower for the same price you paid.
Yeah, I didn't even care. I'm like, you know what? Like, just I can't do it anymore. But
as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I should call him right now.
I know I knew it was coming out, but I was like, there's
nobody's ever coming out. Nobody knew.
Yeah,
what do you mean you knew?
I'm like,
were you in Apple with an insider?
No,
Steve Jobs over here?
The thing is, I knew they would eventually come out. But I was like, you know what? By the time it does come out, I'm not even gonna care. I'm like,
you're fine where you are.
Yeah. So
like the machine you have is like, I mean, even the MacBook Air. I got the 8 gig, what's it called, 8 core, with 16 gigs in a terabyte.
Yeah.
And it ran me just under 1,800.
Yeah.
And it's basically brand new. It's an item that probably was returned within a return window for somebody. So you're getting a new machine for like $1,000 off. And I'm not even concerned about the power in that. So you clearly, with what you bought, have significantly more power than you're gonna need. But the M2s that just came out with the same configuration you have, have slightly more cores and a bigger. They start at 1 terabyte for the same price that you paid for it. Yeah, so I was like, maybe you should just fucking pull out a return here.
Well, you're the one who told me to buy those things.
I did. I bullied you into it.
Yeah, so.
I bullied you into it like a dirty fucking high school bully.
But the thing is, I'm just going to keep this until, like, because I know Apple's going to come out with the OLED displays, so the XDRs. But they're going to come out later in like a couple of years.
New panel technology at CES this year. I think OLED might be on the way out, man.
We'll see.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I friggin' hate OLED. But,
so, yeah.
Hey, I think it was a good episode.
Yeah.
I think at the end, I almost bullied you into buying a new MacBook, but it didn't work out.
I was going to, but I was like, you know what? Every year there's a new one that comes out faster and faster and faster. I'm like, you gotta buy one at some point. So
there's always an Usain Bolt 2.0.
Yeah, because like I was rendering like songs this weekend and doing videos and stuff like that. More than happy with the performance.
It's so fast. I mean, I'm telling you, man. My M1, the Mac Mini, is like, I mean, I know it's 3 years old and it's only got 16 gigs of RAM. It is so powerful.
Yeah, because I don't multitask when I'm doing it. Like, if I'm just doing, I don't multitask like, video rendering, then I'm working on Fruity Loops and stuff like that. I don't do them both at the same time. So I'm just like, I just let it sit and render and then let it go, and then no problem. Has the fan, has whatever I need. So I'm like, you know what? I knew the M2 chip. When I saw when I saw it, like the keynote, I was just sitting there. I was watching it. I'm like, you know what? Can't be mad. Just like whatever it is, it's I have the hard drive space. I'm good to go. So
can't be mad, bro.
No, it is.
Can't be mad, bro. Title of this episode.
Yeah.
Can't be mad, bro.
Same display, same chassis, same ports. Whatever. Who cares?
Pretty good.
From the outside, you can't even tell.
I almost had it.
No.
I thought maybe I twist the knife just enough.
No, can't bother.
Just enough.
I make too much money for that.
I would imagine. I make too much money. I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
If you made it this far into the episode, we should point out that you're listening to this on Spotify.
Yes.
We are going Spotify exclusive.
Yep.
We are ditching all other crap. The backlog, I guess the back issues of our episodes, all the old episodes, are all going to be on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be, we're like, whatever episode this is going to be, first episode of 2023 is going to be the first episode only on Spotify.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just on YouTube. So you probably don't have to resubscribe. If you can hear this, you're fine.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you're good.
Yeah.
So there you go. Enjoy the rest of 2023 listening to your favorite two assholes talk about shit they really don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you can say your thing.
All right. Peace out.